XRP just in. Cathie Wood stunned everyone and says we must act now. The bond market is going insane and the global markets remain erratic. Will the Fed intervene to call an emergency meeting? That is what people are now considering. President Trump also claimed folks are arriving and kissing his beep. We'll discuss that as well. All I want from you is a lovely smile to spread those nice good vibes. Smishity smash that like button since Wednesday likes are free. Don't claim I don't spoil you. Let's get started. XRP is now $1.82, up 1.8% on the day. Though the crypto market fell back overnight, we are now witnessing some modest recovery. The S&P 500 also started up in good, now slightly pulled back once more. It happened at night. Many believed a great collapse was imminent. The markets are still extremely very combustible. Correct. We'll get to Peter and what he said in only a second. The roller coaster. Whoa. The roller coaster remains on the market. Particularly when creating videos, you must exercise extreme caution as you can cause a video market's collapse, and then 3 hours later the market is dumping. You record a video of the markets pumping from 3 hours earlier. It's all over the map. This is perhaps one of the most erratic circumstances I've witnessed, with constant ups and downs. Certainly we have observed in the cryptocurrency market larger swings, but just like the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of situation where 1 minute it's here and the next minute it's here, then 1 minute it's similar to this, the stock market's fear is a 3, it's evolving dynamic. The anxiety in the crypto market is really at its lowest point in the last few weeks since March 10th, where we were in the teens, March 4th, which was fascinating since I was monitoring this before, and the market wasn't that bad on March 4th. It was thus following that 2-day period when Trump had mentioned the crypto reserve and then he sort of reversed course. The market was quite worried following this pump and its dump. So essentially the same fear that we were right there, and over this past sell-off we haven't seen the fear get this bad. That sell-off last night seems to have put Bitcoin too close to its lowest levels, which would cause market fear. The Bitcoin dominance is still high at 63%. You know, if we go to me, look at are we in altcoin season or not? At 14, Bitcoin season was mostly in Bitcoin season, and I believe this could be the lowest we have been. This was in July when we were more to Bitcoin a little bit at 12. Now we're nearly at the lowest point we've been in a long time on the 14th. This was from 2023, and it will be fascinating to see how the markets play out today. Pre-market it's a little bit here, a little bit there, pretty flat, but during the night the Japanese market was crashing again, and the Japanese Ministry of Finance and other agencies holding three-way meeting. This might be liquidity. Let's look at what the market in Japan is really doing right now. So it's actually down 4% from where it was before, but it was down a little bit more. They had a lunch break and now they're back at it. The S&P 500, however, is rather well holding. We'll see. Keep in mind the Japanese market, we discussed this in August. When we had the Japan carry trade, they weren't over-leveraging themselves but rather in a position where money, the yen, was essentially being given away for free. They had negative interest rates, even zero interest rates. Then they took out a lot of debt. They began putting money into the cryptocurrency market, the stock market. Then when they began increasing interest rates in Japan, we experienced the entire August scenario in which individuals said, oh, this is going to unravel. These deals they were making, these investments are not great anymore if the markets are pulling back and now they suddenly have interest rates. Should the US markets keep falling apart and they didn't close their trades back in August or in the last 6 months, or 8 months, even more than 8 months, then maybe a rolling ball effect here and margin calls and things like that and liquidations in the crypto market could result. This is causing some more market anxiety, and we can see the bond market going wild. This is unbelievable. The 10-year note yield is now 60 basis points higher in 48 hours. By the end of the month we will have 8% mortgages and a recession at this pace. Talk about a turn of events, correct? Then you have Peter Schiff saying, as I cautioned before, the treasury market is collapsing. The 10% yield just reached 4.5, kneeled on the 30-year index, or 5%. Absent an emergency rate cut tomorrow morning and the declaration of a significant QE program, tomorrow could be a 1987-style stock market crash. This is what Monday's comments indicated did not occur. We'll see what possibly arrives here in the next few days. I'm a little bit congested under the weather sneeze in here, so if some odd pauses appear suddenly, I'm trying to pause out my sneezes, thus you all don't have to witness that. It's concerning. My children are constantly saying, oh my God, Well, this is rather unusual. Peter is wrong once more. Every time Robert Kawasaki is incorrect, whenever Tom Lee is incorrect, anytime Ralph Paul is incorrect, all times. But you know these folks have gone through these, handled these sorts of circumstances. Some will be more pessimistic, though others will be more optimistic. It looks like something has to change. Well, and we will have a response in the next few days. Cathie Wood saw this tweet from Zero Hedge and says we're talking about a free fall and the 3-year SOFR spread swap is plummeting to an all-time low as funding squeeze emerges. Presumably the Federal Reserve is on top of this. Cathie claims, as Zero Hedge points out, that this swap spread indicates significant liquidity problems in the U.S. banking system. This crisis is crying out for some sort of Mar-a-Lago agreement on free trade in conjunction with substantial Fed backing. She claims no time to waste. The probabilities of the Fed lowering interest rates in 4 weeks are changing right now, especially even last night it was up to 57. Right now it's kind of down to 47. Still, just a week ago we were at 12% of a decrease and now we're at 50 47. It will be fascinating to see whether we really have that emergency Fed meeting since it's like day to day. The market is now slightly rising. Oh, we are fine. The market dips somewhat. Emergency federal meeting. Everyone is anxious. People are really YouTube as well in crisis and mainstream media. We have Twitter or X and just general Reddit, Facebook, wherever you're getting your information from is a little bit fear-mongering. I saw a post from someone saying I remember when the markets were in freefall in 2020, 2018. We were seeing similar things. Raoul Paul, I saw a post from him. It was, I can't get it, it was on my phone. Maybe I'll get it for you tonight, but it was from his posts. Here we go. Raoul Paul. He claims this resembles December 2018 quite a bit. For those who were present, Powell indicated a turn. I believe we received the same plus a trade settlement with China. Risk in equities seems like 10% downside maximum against 15% upside in 2 weeks and 25% upside in a month or two, and far more in 6 months. Correct. Thus he's really optimistic about the circumstances and considering it is somewhat accurate regarding the 2018 scenario. I remember I've told this tale previously, so I'm not going to recount it. I'll just provide a TLDR. My business had a problem with Mellanox, now Nvidia. Something was amiss. Mellanox employees arrived, and I didn't know these folks. We were attempting to identify the problem. It was late at night and we were sitting there. The markets were falling, and I was sitting with 2 people, guy and a girl. The man was saying, "Oh my God, the market, it's crashing. What is happening? I just put money into August." And this was think towards perhaps November, December, if I recall correctly, December. And February made me already travel to Japan to handle the problem. Thus this was earlier. And he was like, "I put money in August. I am already down 4